So at what age did you go in?
I was 21.
21 years old. You were a kid.
He's 93.
And so where did you go to training at?
Camp Walter,
Camp
Bender
Walter.
Wells, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not too far away.
No.
So how long were you there?
13, 14 weeks, about 14 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Had a 13-week training, and then about a week before I left,
Mm-hmm.
I went to Louisiana, joined the 38th Infantry Division.
Uh-huh.
And they tried to land them on a coral reef over there in the Pacific. And every one of those guys were killed. I had a friend that his grandmother lived in Gainesville. And I found out from her that her grandson had been killed in that bunch. And that whole bunch that I took training with were killed. So that ingrown toenail, I guess,
Saved
I
your
was just
life, didn't it?
said all along that saved my life.
Yeah. So you went to Louisiana, and how long were you there?
About 2 months, and loaded on the boat and went down through the Panama Canal and went to Hawaii.
Mm.
And was there 6 months, and then went to New Guinea. This guy from Sherman, we was watching the guy box, and when they got through, this guy from Sherman said, "Do you want to put the gloves on with me?" I said, "Well, not really. I've never boxed any." So he said, "Oh, come on." So we put the gloves on. I said, "Do you really want me to hit you?" He said, "Well, let's just spar around a little." Well, we fooled around there for a little while, and he said, "If you think you can hit me, well, hit me."
Okay. So he invited you to go ahead and give him a good swing, right? Okay.
Said, "Go ahead." So we walked out there, and he started to hit me. When he did, I let him have it. Knocked him down. Well, I got down. I said, "I was afraid I'd hurt him, you know. I wasn't in there to hurt him."
Right.
But anyway, there was a guy standing outside the ring. He said, me and him pulled the gloves off and got out. That guy said, "You want to put these gloves on with me?" And I said, "Well, not really." And he said, "Well, I've always heard these guys from Texas is just full of bull."
Okay.
I said, "Put the gloves on."
All right.
So he come bouncing out across there. And I wasn't nothing but an old country boy, you know. I'd never had on a pair of gloves except for. And that guy, he started hitting me, and when he did, I hit him right in the mouth. And I knocked him down. He turned around and spit out 2 teeth. Well, I kind of hated that, you know.
Yeah.
So he got up and quit, so I did too. But then when we was going to New Guinea, was on the boat, there was a bunch of them that was boxing. They had, guys, all these troops on there. And this guy from Sherman told my first sergeant that I was a boxer.
Uh-oh.
So they come and got me. They come and said, "The sergeant wants you up on deck." So we come up there. He said, "I want you to box." And I said, "No, I'm not no boxer. These guys from New York are professionals and all that." He said, "Well, these are just a bunch of GIs from all over the country." Well, I put the gloves on, got in the ring. This old boy come bouncing out across there. I just walked out in the ring. I didn't have no footwork or nothing. I just an old country boy, you know. And that guy, he started hitting me, and when he did, I hit him right in the mouth. Knocked him out.
All right.
Well, the next day, they had me in the ring with another guy. And
Someone was doing well on some bets, weren't they?
Yeah.
I hope they were including you in that.
no, but the next day they brought this old boy in, put me in there with him. He come bouncing out across the floor, you know, just like a little banty rooster, you know.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
walked out there like I didn't have good sense, probably didn't, for getting in the ring. And, when he started hitting me, well, I laid it on him. And looked around, and he was laying on the floor. And they disqualified me, said I tripped him.
Oh.
So that was good enough for me.
Wow.
And all this time was doing training, jungle training, crawling through mud and
It was hot?
yeah,
Yeah.
they had an area where we rained every day when we was there. And this one area, it rained every day, and we would crawl under these things like was in combat. And your rifle would be like a stick of mud when you come out.
Oh, really?
And we'd throw the rifle in the river and then jump in after it.
Oh, you had to do that? That was part of your training?
Yeah, and then we'd have to clean our rifles all up after that. But
Nice. Every day you had to do that in training? Every day?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
so
What type of rifle did you carry?
M1,
An M1 Grand?
30 caliber M1.
M1 30 caliber.
He said later on that Grant.
And it rained like 10 inches every night.
Wow.
We was there during the rainy season,
Mm-hmm.
and it rained nearly every night. Then we left there. We made our first beach landing in Leyte, on the island of Leyte.
Mm-hmm. And then what did you do when you were there?
We was there for a month. We was fighting the Japs on Leyte.
Oh, you're in
On the
combat.
job. On the job training.
On the
Yes.
Yeah.
On the job training. Absolutely. Did you get used to the old tropical bars? Did they get
Yeah,
those to you by then, by the time you got to Leyte?
yeah. Yeah, it was, we got there in the rainy season, and it rained every day and every night while we was there, and was there for 30 days. And we left there and made a beach landing at Subic Bay on the Philippines
Mm-hmm. How long were you at the Philippines?
till the war ended. After we got a foothold, well, they pulled us out, and we went around and made a beach landing on Bataan.
Oh, okay.
You might have heard about the Death March at Bataan, but we retook all that territory.
Oh, you did?
And we wasn't by ourselves. We was all several divisions of men, lots of equipment, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
we're just part of it.
Yeah. So what all equipment did you have with you when you were in the Philippines?
You just carried your toothbrush and whatever you thought you'd need.
Mm-hmm. And you just had a gun, or did you have
Oh
a
yeah, I
knife?
carried a rifle all the time. That was part of you,
Mm-hmm.
the rifle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we retook Corregidor, which was an island out in the right out of off of Bataan. The Japs had it, and we had and it was a solid rock, that island was, and the Navy had to make a beach for us to make a landing on it.
Oh, wow.
They was shelling it all the time. But when we come around to make a landing, the Navy was trolling between us and Corregidor, and the Japs fired 2 shots. And but after that second shot, the Navy opened up. I mean, there wasn't no more wasn't no more coming
From the Jap side?
from the Jap side. The Navy took care of them.
Quieten them down real quick. Didn't they?
Yeah. And boys, we depended on them.
Yeah, and you could see the ships from the
Yeah.
island that you were on,
Oh yeah, we was,
and they were flying aircraft over, and
yeah, and but after we retook Bataan, they pulled us out, and we made by then they had a beach for us to land on Corregidor, and the paratroopers were supposed to land on top, and we'd land on the bottom. And the wind was blowing like crazy, and the paratroopers was
Were they swimming part of the way?
the paratroopers was blowing across the island and landing out in the ocean. They was out there picking them up. And one paratrooper landed on his parachute hung on the flagpole, so he hung the American flag while he's up there.
That's good.
that's neat.
And after we was gonna take, we just like we got everything pretty well settled and thought we had it all under control, and when we set up, we had a perimeter set where the machine guns was on the outside, and then the BARs was in the next, and then the M1 rifles was the next,
Mm-hmm.
in case the Japs overrun us.
Mm-hmm.
And the Japs they was getting drunk down in a cave. They was drinking their sake, and we was expecting them to pull a banzai attack on us. And so when they pulled it, there was one Jap got by, and a guy right about the middle of our perimeter raised up and grabbed it, cut his throat. Well, everybody, when things like that happen, you can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning we got up and got to looking at this Jap, and someone cut the buttons on his shirt. And it wasn't a man, it was a woman.
Oh, really?
The Japs had women fighting for them.
Wow.
But after that, we never did find any more women, but we saw where they'd been. But after that, we went to east of Manila, moved to east of Manila at Marcellus. I had one incident that happened. We was on patrol, and me and a sergeant was on the end of the patrol, and they said there was Japs in the area, and we was walking along, and all of a sudden I heard a click. If you've heard of where you pull the trigger on a gun and it hit, hear it click,
Mm-hmm.
and I turned real fast and shot into a bunch of bamboo trees that growing there, and I shot this Jap, and after everything settled down, they got the rifle, and they opened the breech on the rifle, and they could tell where the plunger had hit the shell It misfired.
Just a dud.
And the sergeant just held the rifle up and pulled the trigger and it went off. It fired. So I don't know whether he was aiming at me or whether he was aiming at the guy in front of me, but
Either way, both of y'all walked away at that point.
anyway,
so-
we come out of it. We didn't. We fought the Japs there for about 3 months. And we helped. They had about 3 divisions of men in there. It was taking this pass. It was called Zigzag Pass. And the Japs had been there so long that it was all overgrown with brush, and the men just had to. The airplanes couldn't get in to bomb them, and they tried to shell them and everything. It was dug in, so, but they just had to dig them.
A lot of caves and tunnels.
They just had to dig them out hand to hand, get them out. And after that, they started issuing us. They was going to issue us new equipment. Was fixing to go to Japan, and they dropped the atomic bomb on them, and so that ended that. So we didn't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody began to go home then.
Mm-hmm.
So we got out after that. They sent us home. After that, we depended on the Navy to bring us home.
Mm-hmm. So you got on a ship and headed back for the Americas. Huh?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get all the way back?
About 6 or 7 days is on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Come into California.
And back home.
Pretty excited atmosphere, I imagine, on that boat trip home. Everybody was ready to get home, right?
Yeah, and there was a storm blowing from the north, and we were going east, and the boat was rolling over, with the waves. You could have reached over the side and filled your helmet with water. It was rolling that much, and
Wow.
we thought, well, we've been fighting them darn Japs like that, and then flew around out there and get drowned. But they changed course, and whenever we changed course, then the boat was going way up in the air, and coming down on them big waves. It sounded like it was going to break in two. The boat did. Of course, them troop boats wasn't nothing but a boat that hauled cattle on before the war. But